everyone. Welcome back to Heartbeat Narratives. My name is Molly and I'm your host. And today I have the pleasure of interviewing Kauʻi, who is the principal of Hanahau'oli Elementary School. And it's so funny. We were doing an interview for our other podcast, Above the Sides, and she kept talking about joyful work and how much she loves her job. And I felt like I was doing a Heartbeat Narratives interview because there was just so much radiance in what she was saying. So I boldly asked if we could do a second interview today. And so Kauʻi, mahalo nui for being open to this unexpected conversation.
Aloha, thank you. I'm happy to be here and take a stab at another podcast.
2 in 1 day.
Right, and talk about joy.
So similarly to what I shared in our other conversation, I walked into the office here at Hanahau'oli and immediately felt like my inner child was being cared for. There were holiday decorations and snowflakes and murals and rainbows, and I felt so cared for just by the environment. And it's clear that you're doing a really good job as an educator.
Thank you. Interestingly, when I interviewed to be a teacher here a long time ago, similar feelings. This feels like the place to be. Honored that I got the job then, and then honored to be back here now. So,
yeah, I just love elementary schools, and I have fond memories from when I was a child. And so I imagine you're creating this welcoming environment and loving space for all of these keiki here in Kailua.
Yes. Each level has its own joy, but elementary school really has the joy in that kids might not remember that you taught them 1 + 1 is 2, or that 2 is more than 1, right? Or how to read that book that follows you forever, or how to do hard math. But people remember elementary school for how the educators made you feel. And that, it is awesome. Where when you get to secondary, it's more the impact that you had on their educational career as students and how you help them get to the point where they're going to walk across the stage for graduation. Or at middle school, that you help them through the very awkward times. So every level has its own joy. But yes, elementary school is all about the feels. So I'm happy that when you walked onto our campus that you felt all of those wonderful feels from elementary school. We do decorate and make the kids feel very welcome. Even Halloween. Halloween is not my favorite. I'm not a horror movie person. I don't like being scared. And so when the office staff does the decorations, there are times that I have to like, oh no, that one's too scary. Let's not scare the little ones and whatever. So we talk back and forth about how to bring joy even in Halloween into the office. So
yes, we don't need zombies when they walk into the principal's office.
Yes, no. It's scary enough to come see me.
So I wanted to ask you, where are you from?
So I'm actually born and raised on the island of Oʻahu. I grew up first in town off Yonge Street, and then as I got a little older, moved into East Honolulu. So I grew up in Kuli'o'o, which is between New Valley and Hawaii. We are not New Valley. We are not Hawaii. We are our own character and personality in Kuli'o'o. So that's where I'm born and raised.
I love Kuli'o'o. And I actually work part-time at Malama Maunalua.
Yes.
In Maunalua Bay, which is your backyard.
Yes. The sunsets there are amazing.
Oh, so beautiful. Cotton candy skies.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, as an educator, as a just sunshine person, what makes your heart beat? What brings you joy?
As an educator, it's the work that I do. I don't always describe it this way, but I like to say it this way, that the work I do is Hanahau'oli. I do joyful work every day. There are stressors, don't get me wrong. It's stressful work, but as I was starting to get into teaching, I have an early childhood background as well, and so I had to do a internship at a preschool setting, and luckily I got to do it at Hanahau'oli. An amazing school, amazing educators, but I was working on the preschool side, and I didn't make the connection of Hanahau'oli school until the place that I'm living at now. I was walking in the parking garage, and happened to walk by a car that has, I think the person works at Hanahau'oli school.
Oh, yeah.
But on their license plate, the holder, I guess you call it.
Yes.
It does. It has Hanahau'oli, and underneath on the bottom it says joyful work. But I didn't make that connection fully until I saw that on that car, and then as we were talking. But I have the pleasure of working with kids every day. The joy for me is whether you see them walking down the hall and they see you and they light up, or the joy when they say bye to their parents. Sometimes the big feels when they say bye to their parents, when they see their parents at the end of the day and they reunite, when they tell you the funniest story. And it might not be that funny as adults, but it's funny to them, and the way that they say it, the joy that comes out from them, it just, how can you not feel your heart, right, when you see that in kids? And the most perfect way that kids have to say something that you didn't know you needed to hear, or just a hug at the right time when they don't know you needed it, but you knew you did. So things like that, that's what makes my work joyful every day.
And kids are so pure. They're just being 100% themselves because they haven't been jaded yet by middle school or trying to fit in too much. They're just 100% who they are, expressing whatever it is that's going through their system.
Even kids at middle school, the hardest struggles are in middle school and even high school. They still find a way to say things that you needed to hear, or when you see them come into their own and to advocate for themselves in the way that they need to, respectfully as they can. There's joyful work in that too. I'm blessed to have the job that I have.
I was wondering, this is just a curiosity, but when you see 5-year-olds, can you get a glimpse of who they're going to be when they're much older? Like their 60s and 70s, can you see who they might become?
Yes and no. 60s might be a far stretch, but there are definitely things in children's personalities that will carry.
Okay.
And yes, you can see glimpses of things that will take place or happen. And that's good or bad. And it's with that sometimes we give strategies as to how might we work on this to make that better, so that by the time you are 60 or earlier, that you learn things, strategies to help you not have to work so hard sometimes.
Yes.
Whether that's personality, whether that's skill, any of that. And then the opposite of that, the good sides, the sense of humor, the work ethics. There's personality things that you'll see in kids at 5 years old, from your example, that will carry. And then when you see them later and they laugh at the same things, or
Sweet.
Yeah, it does carry. Yeah.
I just really was curious because as a teacher, you see so many students coming through, and then you might see them 10 years out, 20 years out when they come visit you.
Yes.
After college and so on. Because I still remember a lot of my elementary school teachers, and especially my gym teacher, Mr. Neisted. He made me feel so confident because we had this jump roping competition.
Yes.
And I became like a very competitive jump roper when I was 6 years old. And that one experience boosted my confidence through high school because I realized I liked athletics. I liked moving. And he made me feel like I could do anything in the world.
Yeah.
So, mahalo, Mr. Neisted. I would come back and visit him too.
Yes.
For years, when I would come home from college, I would pop by Mississippi Elementary School in Minnesota because we're right along the Mississippi River, and we would talk about track and the jump rope show and tennis and all the things that I had gone on to do.
Yeah,
you're doing important work.
Yes. Again, it's the elementary years that you remember those relationships. You remember those pieces. Another thing that brings me joy is, as you were telling your story, it reminds me, when I go shopping, sometimes I'll see students that, whether they're high school now or early college, and they're working, right, as they take classes or things like that. And the joy when I recognize them first. And sometimes they recognize me as well, but the joy in the conversation. So 2 things. 1, yes, it carries. The personality is still the same, They're just in bigger bodies, have a little more confidence as to how they carry the conversation. And I always ask them, what are you doing now? And there's a range of things, whether they're working or they're in college or whatnot. But my follow-up question is always, is that making you happy? Because I don't want to judge wherever they are, college or not, or what. Just that, as we had said on our other podcast, that they're good people, right? That the character is there. So I never want to judge wherever they're at. I want to take them where they're at. And if you're happy, then I'm happy. But I'm always happy to see them. And they're always so joyful to share. And then I ask them if they remember me and all of that. And I love those conversations. Not only the day-to-day Hanahau'oli, but also the legacy of that moving forward and where kids go as they grow up. And to be able to see that. You don't always see the impact of your work sometimes at elementary because it's so long until they graduate. But when you do get to see them later, or when they come back to visit, and then you see that impact, it's powerful and exponentially joyful.
I imagine the sense of gratification comes full circle because you put all this time into your own education to work in schools.
Sure.
And then very slowly
Right.
you start to see like, oh, the community is shifting because of all these students contributing back.
Right. Yeah.
So as you balance your day-to-day work with your normal everyday life as a contributing member of Hawaiʻi, how do you balance out the stress?
Oh, yeah. So as much as my job is joyful, there are lots of stressors, only every day. And so to balance some of that and bring myself joy, I enjoy taking classes just for my own enrichment. So I do take Ōlelo Hawaiʻi classes. I'm not that good at it, but it brings me joy. Enough that there are some times that I'm leaving work after a stressful day and I'm driving over to my class and I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't have time for this or whatever. But when I'm in class, it's joyful. It's a great group of people that support each other in where we are in learning the language. And then I always feel fulfilled when I leave. So I extended that to hula. So I danced when I was very young. And then life takes over. Things look different in your family or whatever. And so needed to stop, but never really continued. Not really sure why or whatever. So returning to that has brought me joy. And then just other things. I enjoy playing volleyball, reading a great book. I don't enjoy the beach insofar as swimming, but I enjoy the beach as catch some sun rays, right? So sometimes I'll go early in the morning and I'll just lay out. And then by the time it gets really hot, I go home. Listening to music, going for a long drive in the country, listening to Hawaiian music as you do that. Playing volleyball, yeah. Eating good food.
Yes.
Long list of good food, but yes.
I feel like, especially with the Ōlelo Hawaiʻi and like learning the Hawaiian language and dancing hula, those are such incredible forms of expression. Ōlelo Hawaiʻi is poetic and just layers and layers of meaning, and for you to also be a student in those ways as a dancer and as a speaker, what a cool way to flip the script on what you're doing 8 hours before that, and then you're back to being a student again.
Sure. I didn't think of it that way. Sometimes, I'll tell you, educators make the worst students.
You know all the secrets.
Well, yes, we talk too much. We don't pay attention. Sometimes we're not the best students. But
You're still showing up after a full day of work.
Yeah.
Do you have any funny stories with your students?
Oh, I think I could write a book.
You should. I would read a book. I would read your book.
I don't know if you remember when, gosh, I don't want to sing it, but there was a song that used to come on. It was very popular at the time, but the lyrics were "Hold Up, Wait a Minute." Do you remember? Okay.
I think so.
So hopefully I don't have to sing it for the podcast. But one of the things I loved when I was still in the classroom and teaching was you see kids in a different way in different atmospheres. And so when you're teaching math and students are struggling or good at it, you see a different kid academically. But as an elementary teacher, you also teach PE and you teach art and you write all the other things. Where secondary, you have a PE teacher and you have an art teacher. So I was taking the students out to PE one day We were walking out from the hall. We were headed up to the basketball courts. And I needed to stop the line. As I turned around, I said, hold up. And then the student didn't even skip a beat. Wait a minute. I was like, oh my God. So now I'm laughing. The whole line is laughing, right? But now I see this student in a very different way. And in that one moment told me what he listens to, his sense of humor, and just the joy that it brought in that moment as we were walking out to PE, right? And we knew the joy we were going to have playing whatever game we were going to do it. But again, sometimes the joy in just changing the environment, right? And going to a different topic or a different academic area or whatever. I still had to teach PE. There's a grade for it, right? But yeah, hold up and very quickly, wait a minute. It was funny.
Kids are so witty.
So witty. I taught third grade for a long time. And my favorite thing about third grade is when the students come up catered to, they don't quite get satire yet, right? They don't get the joke, right? But there is a point in third grade, usually it's around January, where they start to understand satire. And there are times I'm cracking jokes all the time as I was teaching and whatever. And from September to December, kids don't quite get the jokes, right? And not that they don't get any of them, but they'll get some, especially when you say it over and over, right? And they get your personality. But in January, February, there's a genuine laugh to the jokes. Or they say, you're so funny, right? And then I'm like, hey, I have been funny all year. You just didn't know it. But it's because they're understanding more as they're learning more about, they're reading different things and stuff like that.
Is that development of a child growing up?
It is.
Okay, it's not just them getting to know you better. Maybe a mix of both?
A mix of both in that they'll always have to spend time getting to know the personality of the teacher in front of them. That's kindergarten through 12th grade. But yes, third grade is the developmental milestone where from kindergarten to second grade, they're just learning how to read. How do I put these letters together that somehow in a word make sense?
Yes.
And then those words put together in a phrase or a sentence mean something. And then even in math, if you don't know that 2 is more than 1, you will struggle through math academically as it builds. But third grade becomes the point where I'm not learning how to read now. I know how to read, but now I'm going to learn through the reading. And so now your stories in third grade and beyond, there's more things to infer. There's more things you have to read between the lines. And then this is where you start to put in the meaning, right? And then jokes become more meaningful. Kids know jokes when they're younger, but it's the very innocent knock-knock jokes.
Yes,
and
then B.
And then as they get older, then their experiences help as well. What's that underlying meaning in what you have to infer from the word? Or the double meaning of one word that, oh, okay, I get it in that joke. So yes, third grade seems to be that milestone in that.
The fruits of all the labor start to play out because they get the nuance.
Yes, yeah. So their experiences matter, what they're reading matters, all of it put together. So that's my favorite thing about teaching third grade when I was in the classroom.
Are third graders like 8 years old? Are they 7? What is
so
the
it's
age?
Between 7 and 8,
Okay.
depending when their birthday is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clearly I'm not in the education space, so I'm like, oh wow, how old are these small people?
Right. So usually it's because you start school at 5, and then so you add that to the grade level. So if it's third, you add 5. Yeah.
Could you describe your perfect day?
Oh, my perfect day. It would be a very long day to get all the favorites in. I think my perfect day would start with a sunrise. It would have all my favorite foods in it. So it would have to be a food crawl because I have a lot of favorite foods. But it would have family. It would have friends. Play a little volleyball. Read a good book. Maybe sunbathe. All the favorite things. Drive around the island. And then it would end with a sunset. All the soul-filling things is what my day would have. With great people.
I'm so inspired. Just hearing you talk, I can't stop smiling. Because you have this beautiful smile and it's so infectious.
Thank you.
I just imagine being like a 7-year-old and I
Whatever
imagine
you said,
make their days.
Thank you. I hope I do. I hope I do.
Is there anything else you would like to share about your work, your joy?
I think a couple things come to mind. Insofar as joy and heartbeat, there's one thing I haven't done yet that I've been trying to do this for a couple years. It was supposed to be, I'm going to say my age, but it was supposed to be a milestone age, I'll say that.
Yes.
And it hasn't happened for a couple years, but I feel like 2026 might be the year. I have seen a beautiful sunrise on Haleakala. I've seen a beautiful sunrise on the Big Island as well at Volcano Park that I happened to be at watching the volcano. But I have not experienced a sunset on Haleakala, and I hear it is amazing. That is my not yet joy that I will seek. Like I said, I've been trying to do it for a couple years, and life happens and it just hasn't come together, but I feel like the time is going to happen in 2026.
So you'll have a Maui trip. You'll go up Haleakala right at sunset, or spend the whole day up there.
Sure, yeah. I'll be sure to bring my favorite food from Maui.
What is your favorite food on Maui?
Oh gosh, a friend of mine had me try Sam Sato's. The manju there is amazing.
Ooh.
Yes, they have a coconut one that it's really good. It's really good. So I'll take that. What else on Maui?
My mom loves manju, by the way.
Oh.
So as soon as you said manju, I'm like, yes.
Yes, Sam Sato's coconut manju.
Okay.
They have other ones too, but that one is the one. I bring that one home even for my family. I will make sure to have Kraken coffee from Maui. I'm trying to think. I know there's more in Maui. Sorry, Maui. But Maui is amazing. But those are the two things that kind of come to mind right now. But I know I'm missing things, so again, I apologize to Maui.
It's okay. You can keep them a secret just
Yes,
for you.
yeah. You're right. Sam Sato's is already busy. But when I go and I put in an order, I call them. So just another tip for you. I think too, when it comes back to the heartbeat and joy, my work on the good days, my cup overflows. Amazing. My family. Our family has been through a lot, but we always find a way to come back together when we need. So there's that. I don't have kids of my own, but I have two beautiful nieces who are the center of my world. They don't live on island right now, but watching them now as they're college aged, and one just got married and then now is expecting. The joy in all of that and watching them in their life milestones. And then just as I do this unexpected podcast, just shout out to someone who brings me joy every day because she accepts me in all the flaws. But just shout out to my best friend who I never have to explain myself. There's always acceptance. There is also times when you wrong, but said with such care. Yeah, just joyful relationships as well. Maybe lift that up a little bit.
This has been such a beautiful conversation. I feel like my heart is exploding. And all the birds outside are like...
They are chirping, yes. I did hear them.
So they fully agree with everything you're sharing. You have so much radiance in everything that you do that it's like, how can we share this with other people? And in this format, it's shared through your voice. So
thank you. It's been joyful time.
Mahalo, everyone, for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next episode. Aloha.
Aloha.